the Sunday School, which is with a lot of humor, so no strings attached. And I would like to say welcome to all of you that never been here before. Maybe you're brand new, you worked yourself up in the ranks, and you're on this webinar. And why we do this, I can't stress it enough, because we talk about the principles of business and life in these webinars. And some people don't get it. Some people never get it. It's not about the webinar holder, or in this case, me. I mean, you're not going to be on these webinars for my sake. You're going to be on these webinars and bring your team for your sake and for their sake, because there could be a golden nugget of information that could change that person's total life, total mindset of thinking. And if you don't show up, you don't get the message. If you don't show up to pick up your messages, you will miss out. Easy as that. So it's the same thing as you don't show up for an event. I'm not talking about our online events. I'm talking about if there's a regular event in a city where there's some great teachings or trainings and you don't go, you miss out. So, and some people, they don't go or they don't sign in because they say, oh, it's the same stuff every time or same information. Well, in this case, it's not. We have brand new trainings. Some stuff is the same, of course, but we have brand new trainings almost every Sunday. I try to be, all over the place and try to bring in as much information as possible. But even if there should be same information, some information that's the same, and people are complaining, they don't get it. You know why? I learned many years ago from the best of the best. When you're listening to someone training, the training is not for you who have been listening to it maybe 10 or 100 times. The training is for the new person. That's why some information's got to be the same. Because if you change the message all the time, you will not have duplication and you will not have the law of multiplication. So some trainings should always be the same. That's why a webinar presented in the business is the same every time. And sometimes these trainings will bring out a message that's the same. And if you think you're so smart and you all over, everyone else, you don't need to listen to it, fine, but you don't get the message. The message is there's always something to be learned. There's always something new. We never stop learning. We never stop growing. We never stop changing. There's a constant thing in the universe. It's called change. It's the only thing that's constant. Nothing else is constant, but change is. There's movement, there's a system. The planet moves in a system. It doesn't go all over the place. So there's a system to the movement. There's a system in order. So that's what we are trying to, get hold of here, so we can use it in our lives, in our business, and become successful. Because money won't make you successful, and you will hear about it in this seminar. But anyway, welcome to this webinar, and there's always something to be learned. And we had amazing, beautiful, powerful event yesterday. What do you think? Was it awesome? Yeah, I bet it was, because that's what's happening. And I will go through a couple of things, quick one here, why it's so important to bring people on board. And that is, we have a system, and the most important thing in the system is the education, because that will get you everything else. I will not do that training today, but that's the vital signs. But we have a system with the first look, the business presentation, education, and event. The last block in our system is events that we had yesterday. Why is event so important? Well, the purpose of the whole system, but also the events, which is part of the system, is to bring stability and comfort. So the people you bring on board can easily recognize and say, wow, and they feel the stability, they feel comfort, they feel that they're in part of something bigger, something better. And I always said that if you work the system will work for you. It's duplicatable. It's easy to duplicate. Duplication means, if you haven't heard it before, and I know I'm talking, to great leaders here who knows everything. Still, there are new people on this webinar who never heard it, so that's why. And duplication will take place whenever there's something to duplicate. So if you change everything all the time, people will be confused, and confusion will not produce. Write that down. Because when you're confused, you will not work. You will not, do anything. You will not take action because you're thinking, what's going on? It was not like this yesterday. So if there's going to duplication take place, got to be something to duplicate. Information and news. You get some great news at the event. We release new stuff. So that's why people need to be on those events, so they get the information first. And we get motivation, and we get inspired. We get fired up. We get some energy. We realize that, wow, it's doable. It's possible, even for me, little me, poor little me. I can also do this. And the purpose of you being a leader is not to have a lot of followers that will obey you and think you're so good and applaud you. The purpose is to make them leaders. The purpose is to bring people on board and to change their mindset so they can do this by themselves. I know it's hard work, and I know you can't help someone who doesn't want to get helped, but you bring people to these events and to these webinars so they themselves can choose if they want to miss out or not. So that's the purpose of a system. Another thing is releasing new product stuff. So, guys, you just got to go crazy, because if you're going to duplicate some serious business, that means money. You got to have people using the products. You got to have people signing up for the new deals. You got to have people to using the promotions. You got to have people to reading the magazine, to sell the magazine, to buy the magazine, to talk about the magazine, to talk about life trends, to talk about the new deals, to talk about travel. You gotta duplicate. There's gotta be some energy, guys. Wow, listen to this. Whoa. So that's the purpose of being on events. And, everything else, you can get 2 thumbs up. And this is how it works. When you go to an event let's say you bring 10 people, okay? 10 people watching the event, and they have a thought. They think something when they watch the event. Do you think they think, wow, this is amazing, this is incredible, this is beautiful, wow, well, look at all these artists, and the founder is speaking, and sometimes the CEO is there, and whoa, so you get a thought. The thought will create the feeling. That's the whole purpose. We will create a feeling with something, because most people, they act. They shouldn't, but they do. So when you get a feeling, you get an emotion, you take action, and then the result. So bringing people to webinars, to events, and to have some energy and to spread the message, to promote, you got to be a promoter. Create feelings, emotions. Emotions move people. The law of multiplication takes place when you have something to duplicate. Okay. And foundation of trust is integrity. You got to have it yourself, and you got to look for people who want to change, to become leaders, to have some integrity, to build up their character. It's got to be a person with character who, when they say something, they do it. They don't say one thing and do another. Those are people without a character, but we all can change, huh? So when you have watched the event, you bring your people on board, you got to follow up on them. Because now it's time to take action with everything that's been released, the promotions, the products, the recruiting, everything. So you got to have some goals set up, and you got to ask your key people about their goals and follow up on those goals. Follow up and say, how many people do you think you had on board watching the event yesterday? Did you check it? Because if you don't inspect, it's so important. And today, I'm going to do a break thing. So now I did the event stuff, okay? We will come back a little bit later. But now in the mid session here, I will do some serious personal development. We talked about the Maslow meaning of life. Maslow was a philosopher. He wrote something. I think it's the closest that I found, and I got it, explained from my mentor, and it helped me so much. It's helped me incredibly much in my life with everything. When I learned that there's actually is a meaning of life, there actually is. You have a purpose of being here. What that is, I can't find out for you. But Maslow, he said this, which is so important, and you can use this, is that we all start in the bottom. We have psychological needs, like we got to eat, we got to sleep, and we got to reproduce, kind of, okay? The purpose is not to stay down there just to eat, reproduce, and sleep. Because if we do that, we get stuck. And some people get stuck. The purpose of bringing a business to people like this business is to wake people up. Wake them up with their own dreams, because it's inside of them. Some people refuse. They will just stay down there, and that's all they do. Fine. I'm not God. I can't, judge anyone. But the purpose is not to stay there. The purpose is to move up the ladder. You move up. So then you come to what we call safety needs. You get a job, and you get, you take care of yourself. Maybe you have an apartment, and you need to have some kind of health, because otherwise it's not fun. And you move up, friendship and family and connection, and some people get stuck there, that's all they do. But the purpose is to move up the ladder. The purpose is to be free. The purpose is to work on yourself, on your self-image, on your self-esteem, to do personal development, to travel, to meet people, to solve problems. So, because when we solve problems, that's when we grow. Some people, they believe that problems is not part of the deal. Yes, it is. I'm telling you, it's part of the deal. That's what separates real people from, fake people. Fake people, they, cave in as soon as there's a little bit problem. They run home to mommy and cry. That's not the purpose. The purpose is to take head on the problem and solve it. So the people who have most of the free time, most of the money, most of the stuff, are people who solve the problems. So problem is part of the equation, okay? Then when we reach self-actualization, we're free. You're more free than ever. And that is, you choose. You make the choices. So how do we get there? Well, everyone is designed for success. I got this all the time. When I said, we come out of the mother's womb, we come out and there's no tag that says, oh, this one is a loser, we put him over here, and this one, the other one comes out, get born. Oh, here's a successful one. We put him in another room here with all the successful people. No. So when we get born, we're designed for success. The Creator designed us to be successful, okay? Everyone wants to be successful. If you ask people, of course, not everyone is ready to take on the work, the hardship, the discipline, working on the character to be successful. That's another story. But everyone wants to be successful. Everyone wants to have something better, some more, whatever it is. If they're not mentally ill, of course, because then they don't realize. But, we're not talking about those people. Success is also predictable. How can success be? Well, it's 100% predictable of what the person is doing and not doing. Here's a good one. If you have a piece of pen and paper, if you don't, when I'm doing these webinars, yourself, you will miss most of the good stuff. Write this down. The distinguish difference in between a successful and a non-successful person is what they do in their free time. Write that down. Success is predictable. Why is it predictable? Because it's about follow certain laws. I will get into this later. Also, failure is predictable. I can tell. I've seen so many people come and go during these 30 years I've been around doing this, teaching, trainings, and working with people, making business. And I can say, I can look at someone, I'm not judging them. I just say, okay, by their actions, or actually non-actions, I can see failure is predictable. Everything in life is designed to function by laws, okay? If you don't get that one, write it down. Everything in life is designed to function by laws, okay? Laws make life predictable. What laws am I talking about? Well, you will see. I will give laws and principles. That's why I always say to people when I coach them, I say, you got to be a person of principle. You got to get hold of the principles and act on them. What is a principle? If you've never been here before, maybe it's like, you don't know what I'm talking about. It's going over your head. Well, you will soon. A principle is something that's never changed. A principle comes from the universal laws. The laws, we didn't create them. They were here before we were here. And the principle never changed. It's the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. But principles never change. So a principle and a law are universal, which means that it doesn't matter where you are. You don't get better if you move to another country. Some people think that, it's because I was born here. I can. No. The laws work everywhere. It's such a bogus, it's such a myth that of course, it can be easier and it can be harder in different countries, but the laws are universal. Think like this. If someone is successful in the town where you live, you can be successful. How is that? Well, you just have to copy what that person is doing. If someone is successful on your street, you can be successful. Those are the laws. Laws are permanent. Laws are permanent. What does it mean? It means what I said just before. That means that the same laws 2,000 years ago were the same laws as 2,000 years from now as it is today. Laws are permanent. And laws and principles work anywhere and everywhere. Works anytime, everywhere. Laws guarantee success. Oh my goodness. If people just understand that when they plug in a system like this that we have created for you, you will be successful if you follow the order given. If you follow, it's like, do this, don't do that, do this, do this, do this, do this. The problem with people is that they don't, because they lack discipline. They don't have the stamina. Discipline means you don't feel like it, you don't want to do it, you don't have the urge, nothing, you don't feel like it, you're not up to it, but you do it anyway. You win something over yourself. You conquer yourself. So laws guarantee success. Laws can never be broken. Laws can never be broken. What does it mean? It means that you break the law. You are violating a law. And it comes back as a boomerang to you. But the law can never be broken. Laws inherit judgments. What is that? Well, the punishment is not from someone else. The punishment is for not obedience to the law. People get cognitive dissonance. That's what they say. That's why they say no. That's why they stay down below. They never move up the ladder because they make decisions out of fear. So you want to be fearless? You want to be successful? Follow the laws. Wow. Some people, they make all the decisions based on their feelings. I don't feel right today. My feelings are hurt. But you know what I say to them? I say, the thought becomes before the feeling. So if you're feeling something, you have been thinking wrong. That's why you need to start to change. That's so easy. Some people never get it. And some people got it today when I say this. My feelings are hurt. No, they're not. No one can hurt your feelings. You can only think the wrong thoughts. Someone can be rude, and someone can be nasty, and someone can be mean and evil. Doesn't mean that you're a victim. Well, the first time you're a victim. Next time it's a choice. So we all have control of our thinking. We all can say, "Wow, I know who I am. I know where I'm going, and I don't want to stay down below in psychological needs. I want to move. I want to move up. So I'm going to start, using the laws." I said before that laws make life predictable. So let's take this law: sow and reap. Okay? Do you believe it's a law? Do you believe that what you sow shall you reap? Well, you can try it. Try to reap something you haven't sown. That if you put this in action in our business, people who doesn't reap, they don't do presentations. People who doesn't reap, they don't bring people onto these webinars. They're slackers. They think someone else is going to do them for them. And that's not how it works. We're going to help people move out of their comfort zone, move out of the fear to start produce, to be creators. You start to producing. The first commandment, almost said, it's not a commandment. The first teachings was to be fruitful and multiply. What does it mean? It means, if you look up the word fruitful, it's mean to be productive. Ooh, wow. To me, to be productive. So I'm a producer. I'm going to produce stuff. I'm going to be productive. And it's way easier when I have people to follow, when I have people that can tell me what to do, which my mentor did. He taught me most of the stuff that I know today. Then I find out that what he said was true, because when I read other books and other stuff, and I could see, wow, it's really true. This is how it works. So whatever you think about the laws, it doesn't matter, because it's there. They're universal. They're anywhere, everywhere. Laws, it's a guarantee for success. And if you know that, or rather say, if you're wondering, what are these laws? I'm telling you, they're here every Sunday. Every Sunday, I will give out some laws. Sometimes they're hidden. Sometimes it's principles and stuff. I don't say it. And sometimes it's out in the open. But every Sunday, there are laws, principles taught on these webinars. And you can find them in books. But listen, don't go out and buy books. Get a recommendation, because there's a lot of people writing books of a book they read. So they never actually did something, but they're good at writing books. That's all they do. They write books. And, most of the information is pretty good, but when you can't give what you don't have, it's got to be empiric knowledge. Empiric knowledge means that you've done something, and so you can tell someone to do what you did because you did it. That's empiric knowledge. Those are the people you're going to look for, who have done something. Not only you can dress up and be a failure. You can have nice clothes and be a failure because you're not following your purpose. One of the slides says that success is fulfillment of the purpose and assignment for which you were created. Okay? So I can't tell you that, but I can tell you this. If you take an instrument that's on a display and it's hanging there or laying there on a display and it's not used, it's a failure, because an instrument has a purpose and an assignment, which is to make sound. Someone's going to play that instrument. If it doesn't get played, it's a failure. Some people dress up nice, and you can say, oh, you say, wow, those guys look very successful. Well, maybe they're dressed up failures, because not everything is what it looks. So what's now? Well, go back. You got to be crazy. For what? For the next event. So people have this timeline and they work towards next event. So how many people are you going to bring? And you got to look for those people, who are ready to say, aye, sir, I'm ready. So make the products and make a plan, because it's when you do that the best of your life, it's going to be the rest of your life. When you start using these laws, it's going to be the best of your life, because you're not who you think you are. You are who you think you are. Thank you, guys. It's been an amazing Sunday. Just go out there and be prosperous, happy, joyous, and free. And I will see you guys next Sunday. Okay, take care.